And winner number 1 is
Brian Gadzo. How do you differentiate outputs versus outcomes? Why? And what should be deemed more important? So when you're thinking about outputs versus outcomes, outputs are really sort of the metrics or the numbers related to specific services or specific activities that you do within your program model. And outcomes are the meaningful measures or metrics that result because you do all of these services or activities. So the service or activity related to your consumer is the number, versus then what is the benefit to the consumer is the outcome. I would say that they're both important metrics to collect. However, if the consumer hasn't benefited from your services or activities, then you really haven't achieved your ultimate impact. So in my estimation, outcomes I think are much more important, much more critical. So it's good that you do activities, it's good that you account for the services you provide, but if you don't have that meaningful impact, that meaningful outcome that you intended for your consumer or your participant, then at the end of the day, it's the outcome that's more meaningful, and that's what you're really trying to measure and really trying to understand. So that's what I would say the difference between outputs and outcomes.
good answer. Thank you. Winner number 2.
This question is from Nora Murphy, and she asks, what is one of your go-to best practices in terms of data management or in general? So I would say a best practice in terms of data management would be to consistently monitor your data on a prescribed time frame. So you're either looking at it bi-weekly or monthly or quarterly, depending on the metric. Because really you're letting the data inform your quality improvement work. So I would say best practice number 1 is to constantly be monitoring your data, and where you're sort of missing your mark or missing your target, then that leads to an opportunity for quality improvement.
Great, thank you.
Okay, this question is from Annie Elizabeth, and she asks, how should data be incorporated into quality improvement? You really can't have quality improvement unless you have data. So data sort of is your informed decision-making process, if you will. So if you're going to choose a quality improvement project, you're going to really look at your data to help you identify where's the most need. So you need data to help understand where you're at so that you can identify where you need to be better or where you need to improve. So with that being said, when you're thinking of data in terms of quality improvement, not only are you using it to identify a potential QI project area, but then you're also using the data to monitor whether or not your quality improvement efforts are getting the intended results that you were seeking. So it's not only to help you identify a QI project, but it's also to help you monitor your efforts along the way.
And that concludes our May Friday feature. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and thanks to Christa for doing this and her interminable patience. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, guys.
Thank you.